Hi everyone, I'm Amelia and I'm Head of Post-Production for Guild TV this year. Head of Post-Production basically involves me overseeing all the editing and hopefully teaching people like you who are interested in editing how to use our software, which is Adobe Premiere Pro. So usually this time of year I would invite you all into the studio to come and do a hands-on workshop and basically get editing to be ready for one of our BGLs, which are our live shows. However, we can't do that right now, so I'm going to attempt to do an online workshop using a free software because Adobe Premiere Pro is pricey and we bought it as a society for you guys to use. So I've decided to use iMovie, which is available on most Apple devices. I think you might be able to get it if you don't have an Apple device, but if not, there are other versions. So off the top of my head, DaVinci, I think that's a really good one. And I'm sure like the app stores that you have will have really good video editing softwares. But I'm going to use iMovie today, and I'm going to use the version for iPad and iPhone. So if you have a phone, you can literally record all like your video and then edit it on the same device, which I think is really good. And I've recorded a house tour as my B-roll, and I recorded it on my phone in kind of the landscape mode. So if you want to make videos, I really recommend doing it like that because it just looks more like cinematic and more like a camera. So let's get on with the editing. So I'm just starting by selecting the iMovie app and clicking Create Project and Movie. From there it will give you your photo library, so I'm just selecting the clips I want to use in the film, and it will automatically put them into your timeline when you press Create Movie. So you might need to reorder your clips, and you can zoom in and zoom out by pinching your fingers to kind of find your clips and edit them more precisely. So this first clip I'm going to delete, and to do that I'm going to press and hold it and then just drag it up. And then I'm going to scroll across the timeline and choose the clip I want to start. So I'm going to press and hold it again, and this time I'm just going to drag it to the front, like so. Now I want to make this clip a bit shorter because it's a bit messy either side. So to do that I'm just going to click on it and it will come up with two yellow bars either side, which you can put your finger on and drag left or right depending on whether you want to make it longer or shorter. So I've decided to make it shorter so that it starts when my housemate's hand touches the door, and I'm going to cut it at the end so it looks more seamless when we go into the living room. So that's what I'm doing just now, making it a little bit shorter. You can also split a clip by dragging the kind of cursor over where you want to split it and pressing Action and Split, and then you can just delete the clip that you don't want. Now this is me speedily editing the clips into a kind of rough cut, so deleting the clips I don't want, keeping the clips I do want and making them shorter or longer, and then also reordering them so they make sense in what I want to make, which is a house tour. So once we've got our clips in order, we're going to want to put some audio underneath, and I've downloaded ukulele music off the internet, so I pressed the plus in the top right hand corner, and I went to my videos and I chose the ukulele royalty free music. We use a lot of royalty free music in Guild TV, so defo go for that because it doesn't get flagged on YouTube. And we've got the picture there, so I'm going to just detach the audio by pressing on it, Actions, Detach Audio, and then the audio comes free. And then I'm just going to move the audio by pressing and holding the audio and dragging it to where I want it to go. Same as you do with the clips. So I'm going to put it at the start of my video, and then I'm just going to delete the picture because I don't want the ukulele picture in my video. I'm just going to mess around with some of the sound. So if you click on the sound, it comes up with volume, a volume option. I'm going to click that and you can kind of choose how loud you want your clip. I don't really recommend going into those amber and red zones purely because it's a bit too loud for computers. So you just want to make sure you get a good sound level, and then you can fade it by clicking the fade on the right and dragging the arrow, which I'm going to do again after I minimise the clip. Again, just pulling and dragging it, clicking fade on the right, and then using that arrow to drag where I want the fade to start and end. And there we go. And I'm also just going to check that my clips don't have any audio on, so I'm going to click them, press actions and detach audio, but I've already done that for the rest of the clips, and then just delete that piece of audio. Now we're going to look at some transitions. So as you can see here, click on it, the 2 arrows, and you get the transitions, so you can turn the transition off, which is kind of what we usually use for making films or little videos for Guild TV. But here it looks a bit weird to me to just cut straight away. So I'm going to choose the dissolve function, and you can also change the amount of time you want the dissolve for, so it could be longer or shorter. And then I'm just going to edit the rest of them. So I'm going to add a wipe to some of the kitchen ones just to make it a bit more interesting. And you can kind of play around depending on what you're making. So yeah, I'm just going to add another wipe, again by just clicking those arrows. And at the end, I want to add a fade to black. So I'm just going to cut my clip where I want it to end, and then go to the add function in the corner, and kind of choose the black screen that I downloaded from Google. So just downloaded a black screen from Google, and I'm going to add it to the end so that it has a fade to black. And there we go. But actually I want to cut it to black, so I'm going to click on the transition mini square, and I'm going to choose none, which essentially just cuts it to black like so. Now I'm just going to add some titles. So I found a picture of my house off of Google Earth, and I'm going to add it. It seems to want to kind of zoom in on these pictures, so just press the clip and press Ken Burns disabled, and it should stick still. But you can zoom in and out using your fingers to kind of pinch and pull, which I'm going to do now, and kind of reorder where my house is. So with pictures you're adding, that's what you do. And then I'm going to stay on the clip and click titles at the bottom, as you can see here, which brings up the titles. There aren't that many in iMovie, but you know, it's a good start. So I'm going to choose the title I want. They've all got nice kind of like transitions, so you don't need to worry about that. Just need to click the one you like and add it, then click on title text here and kind of edit the text you want in there. So I'm going to put house at the top, like so. And then I'm going to add tour at the bottom. Great. So yeah, then you can mess around with that. And in Guild TV a lot we use some lower third titles, particularly for, you know, interviews, to introduce people. So in a minute I'm just going to show you that. If we get to a clip of the living room, I'm going to add like a living room kind of title. So I'm going to click the clip, go to titles, and select my title. Now, as you can see at the bottom, it kind of says center and lower. So for this, I'm going to choose lower when I choose my title, and that will just put the title text in the bottom left corner. So as I choose reveal, I click lower and it moves the text. And then again, just click on the title text here and it will come up with the text box for you to write your text in. So I'm putting in living room. Now this will stay for the whole clip, but you can get around removing the title by simply splitting the clip. So this is what you're going to see in a minute when we cut to the basement scene. I don't want it to say basement the whole way through, so I'm going to click the clip, drag to where I want and press split. And then on the bit that I want, I'm going to add the lower title there. So I'm going to add basement. And so that will fade in and fade out before the rest of the clip. You just need to make sure that the transition says none, which is the line, because the clip will just continue to play as normal, but the title will fade in and out, as you can see here. So it's on that clip, fade out, and then it's still the same clip, but you just don't have the title the whole time. And now I'm just messing with some of the speed. So again, click the clip you want. It brings up the little menu at the bottom, and you can click speed. And it has this cute little kind of tortoise and hare scale. So if you want it faster or, you know, slower, you can just drag it up and down. So I've made the bit with the stairs faster because I thought that was a bit boring. And I split the clip again so that I could make part of the clip faster, as you can see here. But then the rest of the clip kind of normal speed, just so that it wasn't too speedy. But yeah, again, just make sure the transition is a straight line, and that means it will cut from going to fast to kind of that normal speed again. And that's how you edit the speed. And the kind of final bit, I think, is just checking over your video, watching it a few times, making sure you've not made a mistake, and then you can press done in the top left corner. It will save your video automatically, and you can name it. So I'm going to name it House Tour with a little smiley face. Oh, doesn't like that. I'll just name it House Tour. So there we go. And then if you want to put it on YouTube or export it to your library, press that little square at the bottom with the arrow pointing up, and click Save Video. And I'd save it in 1080p, that's the usual kind of for YouTube. It'll export your movie and then save it to your photo library. So yeah, that's basically it for the editing workshop today. I hope it was useful, but if you do have any questions or queries or anything like that, just drop them to the Guild TV Facebook page, or you can find me in the Guild TV members page on Facebook again, and you can message me there and I'll be happy to help you with any questions you have. If you want another video like this, just let me know. I'll be happy to make it, and also could look at making a video on DaVinci Resolve, whatever you feel. But I hope this has inspired you in some way to get making any sort of video you want and editing them, and we'd be happy to help you promote them on Guild TV. So yeah, bye!